What is up, guys? Archon Tsunami here, bringing you guys the Soul Calibur 6 network test review and what I thought of it. Let's hop right into it then. On day 1, which was Friday, it was a 3-day beta, covered Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I noticed that the network had issues with matching people right away. Thankfully they got that fixed by the end. It seemed like matches were definitely coming in a lot faster. I also had to change my settings to any. So hopefully when the game does come out, they fix that to where you don't have to have that setting on. And it's not like it's a bad setting. I mean, I rarely ran into lag. All these matches ran pretty smooth to me. There was a few that felt a little rough. You could see some like the frames drop or whatever from the lag. But other than that, like, they ran pretty smooth. I really didn't notice any major input delay. Even when I'd get like 2-bar connections. I did hear a lot of complaints that the matchmaking wasn't that good and that people were lagging and all this other stuff. And it's like, I didn't personally experience it, and I played on Wi-Fi for a good portion of Sunday anyway. I played on connected Friday, and then Sunday I played on Wi-Fi just to kind of test the two out. And it didn't seem like I was lagging that bad. I had a lot of fun with it. I'd say probably the most frustrating thing, like, it wasn't even the latency or anything. It was more the inability to see characters' move lists. So unless you've played Soul Calibur for, like the past few iterations, which I'm sure have a lot of shared movement, you really didn't know what you were doing, and you were just kind of guessing with like buttons and trying to figure out and get a feel for it that way. I just wish there had been some type of move list that you could access, or maybe even like a Tekken 7 type training style where as you're looking for a match you can train against a test dummy or something, just so that way you could get a feel for your buttons and experiment a bit more rather than trying to experiment in the match doing unsafe things and getting just blasted for it. I mean, I haven't played Soul Calibur since Soul Calibur 2. That's the original Soul Calibur 2. I didn't really mess with the remake or the HD remaster or whatever all that much. And even if I had, it would have been still like, what, 5-6 years ago? It was a PS3 thing. So, I mean, all in all, the game felt pretty fine. Character balance, I'm sure, like, once I get a move list, I can kind of go in depth on that. I will say that just mashing-wise, like, Nightmare and Siegfried here seem really, really strong. Like, the range that they have and just the quickness of their moves just seemed really, really good. It was pretty frustrating to play against. You can't really sidestep Siegfried, it didn't seem like, or Nightmare, because even if they did like a vertical slash attack, it seemed like the sword was big enough that you would already have to have sidestepped like 3 times before you could get out of range of it, whereas some characters like Yoshimitsu, you could just immediately sidestep and it wouldn't hit you. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, or it's supposed to feel like that rather. But they felt really, really strong. Nightmare is insane with his revenge parry thing that he has that deals damage, knocks you back. It seems like he can do it in the middle of block strings. Comes out pretty fast. And then it like gives him extra properties in all of his attacks. I think it gives him more damage too, and he doesn't even have to hit you with the parry to get that revenge gauge, or revenge whatever it's called, or status. He just has to do the ability and it just gives it to him, which I thought was pretty dumb. I figured maybe he would have to, actually parry something to reward the player for parrying. Like X, or I'm going to try to say her name, Zangui, or something like that. I can't pronounce that name, I'm sorry. Like, a lot of people in the tournament scenes just call her X, for that reason, I guess. But she also has a built-in, like, guard parry system, which I think is pretty cool, because if you can predict what your opponent's going to do, you get rewarded for it. I was hoping, like I said, Nightmares would be the same, but it's not, sadly. He just gets rewarded for just mashing the ability. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't hit him out of it. It's completely safe because it puts, like, a soul charge aura around him. I just don't agree with that. Maybe they'll do something about it. Other than that, I also played a lot of Yoshi. I thought Yoshi was pretty fun. It was pretty interesting trying to learn all of what you could do with him. He's another character that you definitely need the move list for because he has access to EX cancels as well as like meter drain abilities, and he also has 3 stances like he's had in every Soul Calibur and Tekken game. Like, he's had Pogo stance, he has helicopter stance, he has Indian stance. It's just hard learning how to go from each each stance into a combo. Like Pogo, you can go from Pogo into Helicopter, and I think you can actually go from Helicopter into Indian if you know what you're doing. I did it a couple times by accident, and it was a pretty sick mix-up on my opponent because they'd go for a slash attack to knock me out of the sky, and I'd Indian down, or a horizontal attack, and I would Indian down underneath it, and then I'd poke them or, you know, combo them from there. But yeah, like I said, it's just really hard to get a gauge on characters without having a move list. But without the move list, I'd say, like I said, the cheapest characters seem to be Siegfried and Nightmare. They both had insanely good, like, lows. Even up close, they weren't that bad, which is supposedly where you're supposed to fight them at, is up close. I played a little bit of Grow, I think his name is, G-R-Weird-O-H. I think that's how you pronounce it. He seemed to be pretty good. He's a new character for Soul Calibur 6. He has a lot of quick movements and a lot of sidestep built into his attacks, which is interesting. A lot of his stuff has a lot of startup that I noticed. It's not all that great. Unless you're like punishing something. He's probably going to be more of a guard character. I think it's, what is it? Impact guard or something like that is what the forward guard is called. Where if you time it right, it pushes him back. I think he's going to be one of those characters where he's going to be able to punish off that pretty easily for quite a big combo. He has an easy access launcher, and down forward, I think it's A. I don't know, it's a pretty neat addition to the game, I mean, for what he is. I played a little bit of Maxi. Didn't really enjoy Maxi all that much, but because I kept accidentally going into stances with Maxi, and not knowing what to do in those stances is really, really bad. You get punished quite easily. Who else was pretty rough? I think X was pretty rough because I don't know her move list. She has access to a launcher that does quite a bit of damage though, and like I said, she's also a parry character. So just getting what moves do what for parries is important. I think Valdo is probably my favorite character out of the entire network test. And that's just because Valdo, like, he's easy to learn. His stances don't require too much learning. You can go in Mantis Crawl, and then you can pretty much just run up to the opponent and just pop kicks on them until they block low. And then once they block low, you go ahead and you hit your A button or whatever, and then you just launch them for free. And then you can combo from there into your super or whatever. So yeah, Valdo is pretty fun. I didn't play Geralt. I just didn't get around to it. He didn't really interest me all that much. Trying to think who else I played. I played Talum. She has the same problem Maxi has, is that she has stances that come out of all of her moves, and if you're not sure about the move list, it becomes really hard to figure out what you're doing. Like, it seemed like I was doing like a repetition of buttons just to test something, and it would do something different each time. So I don't know if that's just me maybe holding the button a little longer, or maybe I was holding forward or back, which caused the properties to change. I couldn't say. But that's another character like Maxi that you're going to need practice mode to really learn. I think that's really all I played. I'm trying to think if I played anybody else. I don't really think I messed with anybody else. There was only like a limited cast. I think I only missed playing like 4 characters out of the entire thing. Well, let's see. I didn't play Sophitia. I didn't play Ivy. Ivy I didn't play just because her move list seemed like it was going to be hard to learn. I don't think there was anybody else I was really worried about that I didn't get a chance to play. Like, Killick seemed pretty easy. Mitharugi didn't seem that bad. Who else didn't I play? Geralt probably didn't seem all that bad. Sophitia, like I mentioned before, like I just didn't have an interest in her. I played a lot of X before, so I'm sure those two play pretty similar. But yeah, all in all, I had fun with the beta. Definitely going to pick, or the network test. I'm definitely going to pick this up when it comes out October 19th. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys thought of the network test. If you guys are going to get the game or not, or if it kind of soured it for you. Like I said, my biggest issue was that there was just no practice mode in between matches, and there was no way to test your moves. So that way you could get a feel for your buttons if you haven't played in a while, you know. But I think that's my biggest complaint. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Let me know if you guys had any issues with like the matchmaking being too long, or if you guys had a lot of stuttering matches. Also, if you guys want, put down in the comments section whether or not you want to try to learn the game together. I'm always open to doing that with the community. just let me know. We can do some player matches or something one night when the game comes out, because I'm sure there's a player match menu. From what I've heard, it's like 3 or 4 people I think can get in at a time. I don't think it's like Tekken 7's where it's like 6 or 7 or something like that. But we can always get some people in, you know, learn different matchups. I'm always down to help out. Just go ahead and put down in the comment section below. As always, Archon Tsunami here. Hoping to see you guys on the next video and hoping to see you live on Twitch. Later.